What's up, everybody? I am so excited for this video because I feel like I haven't filmed in a while, like a sit down video. Let's just chat and talk. So let me reintroduce myself. My name is Aaliyah, and if you're new here, consider clicking the subscribe button below, comment, like, all the things. I do bookish content, also lifestyle videos, family, faith, and fiction. So I would love to have you here, love to interact. Today is a little, something different because I usually don't film videos like this, but I got an idea from some other YouTubers, and then also just books that don't get talked about enough or that we don't finish reading. So honestly, I would love to finish reading some of these books that I have DNF this year, and I just need some convincing. I think I need a little push or a nudge, but let me tell you why I DNF these books and which books I have DNF this year. Well, I think this is the first book that I DNF this year, and that is The Locked Door by Freida McFadden. So I don't know, she's not hitting like she used to for me. And I think I literally read the first chapter and I was like, okay. So The Locked Door is about a girl, I think she's a doctor, and her dad was actually a serial killer. And I think a case came up again and it's getting linked to her because he had like a pattern of how he did it, unfortunately. And I was like, is this predictable? Is she gonna end up being the one that's doing it? So I just stopped after a couple of chapters, or I think the first chapter. And I recently read The Surrogate Mother by Freida McFadden as well. And honestly, I feel like The Locked Door would have been better than that because that was kind of disappointing to me. Yeah, so her books have just been mid for me this year. Like, I was on a Freida McFadden kick and high for a while, like Housemaid, Never Lie, The Teacher, even The Inmate for me was really, really good. I like the twist in that, but this one was unfortunately a no. The next one, I was really so excited to read this book, and like, look how much I got through. I stopped on page 246 of this book, and that is American Dirt by Janine Cummins. I was so excited for this book. I had been wanting to read it for so long. It was talked about so often, like with Oprah's, I think, yeah, it's Oprah's book club pick from 2020. So I was really excited for it, but it was just so repetitive to me. Like, it was just saying the same thing over and over and over again. Like, it started on a high, like something very tragic happened, and then from there it's just like, okay, they're trying to get to their destination. A trial comes, another trial comes, but it was just repetitive. And I was like, okay, when is the action gonna come back? When is the high, the climax gonna come? And it just didn't do it for me. So if it gets better, let me know. Let me know. The next one, y'all are gonna be mad at me about. Don't hate me, okay? 7 Days in June. Okay, so I really wanted to read this over the summer, obviously, because 7 Days in June. And I stopped on chapter 11. Like, I literally have my bookmark still in here. And I think what happened is that it just felt very, very predictable to me. And I was just like, okay, it's a second chance romance and they're reconnecting. I know they're gonna get back together at the end. Like, why do I need all the other stuff? But I want to love this book. Like, I want to try to get back into it. So please convince me. I love Tia Williams as an author. A Love Song for Ricky Wilde is one of my top 3 books, I think. And I ate that book up. Like, A Love Song for Ricky Wilde, I think I read it in like a week, and that is really good for me as a slow reader. But this one just didn't do it for me. And a lot of people like 7 Days in June better than A Love Song for Ricky Wilde. So I don't know what was going on. with this book, because I mean, Shane, the main character, he was kind of mysterious. He was coming back. Some of their history was being revealed. So I stopped at the part where they are just seeing each other for the first time again, and she's telling her friends kind of their history. So if it gets better, if it picks up, let me know. Sorry for the slightly different angle and lighting going down a little bit. My phone storage is struggling. So the next book that I DNF this year is The Beginning of Everything by Jackie Frazier. And basically in this book, they were just making some dumb decisions to me. I was just like, are you serious? It's supposed to be a romance novel. I literally stopped reading this after like 2 chapters because the lady is kind of, I don't know if she got fired, kicked out of her house or something, but she doesn't have a place to live. So she is going to turn to like squatting, basically, looking for a place so she can stay for some nights without getting caught. And then she goes to this guy's house and he catches her. Like, he walks in one day, can see her and see all of her stuff, and she just runs out and leaves her stuff. And then she comes back to get it, and he leaves a note and says, oh, you can stay. Doesn't know this girl from a can of paint, and you telling her that she can stay? Like, come on now. It did not seem realistic to me at all. So I was just like, I gotta put it down. Sorry for the little glare. I don't know if I get closer. I don't know. Sorry for the little glare. But the next book that I DNF, unfortunately and literally at 70%, was Curvy Girl Summer. And Aaliyah, not me, the main character in the book, was just getting on my nerves. She did not know what she wanted. She knew what she wanted, but was making the opposite decisions of what she wanted. So she's basically going on a series of dates to have this date for her big birthday party to, like, you know, impress her family, but also be true to herself and all these things. And I don't know, the dynamic in the beginning between the two love interests was interesting, to say the least, and I did not like it, but eventually the truth came out, all of those things, and they started falling for each other. But then she's like, oh, I'm gonna go on some more dates, I'm gonna go on these apps and dating sites, and it's like, girl, you know who you want now. And that's at 70%. So I'm like, okay, I got 30% more of you making these decisions. Like, just get with your man and call it quits. Just live happily ever after with the one you want. That's it. The next book I DNF'd was The Neighbor Favor. I forgot who this was by, but I know it's a series as well, but you can like do it as a standalone. And I think I was just like in a little slump at the time, or I don't know. I really enjoyed the book because it was an interesting dynamic, because it's like 2 writers, I think, and they're writing to each other, writing letters, and then they end up living right next to each other. So I was enjoying it, but I was at the 30% mark, and I just gave it up because I think I was reading other things more interesting, or I was probably reading too many books at one time. So, but I would love to continue like the series if I can pick up the first book again. The last book I really don't have much to say about, but that is Dolly Alderton's Everything I Know About Love or something like that. And I just could not relate to this book at all. I couldn't see myself in it. Maybe if I kept reading, I could eventually find something, but I don't know. I think that she was just really wealthy, and she was getting into like party lifestyle at a young age, kind of talking about like her addiction as well, from what I can remember. I don't remember everything, but some people absolutely love this book. And I was also doing a challenge for myself to read like 10 pages of nonfiction a day. That was a part of my challenge, and I picked up this book because it was on Kindle Unlimited, and I was reading it, and I was just like, girl, I don't know. I do not like this book. I liked how she kind of mentioned like the friend dynamics between her and her best friend, but other than that, I was like, no. She talks about like liking boys and how that was all she lived for at a certain age. And I know it's talks more than just romantic love, but I just could not get into it after a few chapters. So, but those are the books that I DNF'd this year. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. If you love these books, just convince me down in the comments below why I should pick it up again. Convince me to read them, okay? And let me know any books that you DNF'd this year and you're like, no, I absolutely cannot do this. Thank you all so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button below, like and comment as well. I love engaging with you all and reading your comments. So also look for me over in Instagram and TikTok. I recently just made a TikTok and I'm so excited. That is a way that you can kind of follow me and see more to like day-to-day things that I'm up to. So thanks so much for watching. Peace.